What initially inspired you to do this work, Susan? I know it's work that really speaks to your heart and soul, but there's always inspirations, as we talk about in our own life's journey, that point us in this direction of doing the work we end up doing, that we realize when we're lucky, it's work we love to do, but also work we have to do. When did you realize that on your own journey?
I think when I was a kid. You know, when I was young, I wanted to be an actress because I loved the music and the sound. And of course, I can't sing, so, you know, that dream died hard. But I remember I'm the second of 6 kids. And so I grew up actually being an observer of people. And I was fascinated constantly by how some people really connect. And other people are either so busy or indifferent that they simply don't. And as a teenager, I would go and spend time with my grandmother. She was not an educated woman. I don't know that she ever finished grade school. And she used to sit, she'd drink her beer, and she would play solitaire with real cards, right back then.
The real deal, yeah.
And I loved her. And I would go, and especially with, you know, high school boy problems, and Grandma, what should I do? And she'd say, I don't know. But Grandma, you need to tell me, what should I do? And she'd say, what do you want to do? I don't know. And then she said something, Jim, that I've never forgotten and really informs a lot of my work with people, particularly when they're agitated. She said, you're not done thinking yet.
When you decided to go into this work, what was it you were looking to do and hoping to do with it in your connection with others?
I didn't know. Frankly, I didn't know. I grew up a marketer. I actually wanted to be in HR. And my father, who was the vice president of human resources for a manufacturing company, refused to hire any of his children, there were 6 of us, because he did not want to be embarrassed. So, but I went to him and I said, Dad, I want to be in HR. And he said, no, you don't. There's no money in that. Go into sales. Well, I had a terrible experience as a 16-year-old kid. A photographer sold me a package of photography right from high school graduation, and when you get married and when you have kids and all this stuff, committed suicide before he could ever take one photo. And because I had signed a contract, I owed the money.
Even though he was gone, really, yeah.
And I thought, I am never going to do that to another human. So sales, keep it away from me. And that's unfortunate. I think I probably would have made a lot of money. But that's the other aspect about my personality. That money doesn't drive me. It's making a contribution that means something to somebody. That's what drives me.
When you created Backbone Institute, what was it you were hoping to bring to bear that maybe you didn't see existing elsewhere?
Yeah, it really stems back to the book, How to Grow a Backbone. And as I was writing that, I ran into an agent who loved the title. He said, How to Grow a Backbone, that's awesome. What's it about? I don't know. So I had to think. Had to think about if this were a thing. You know, you'd always hear people say, oh, grow a backbone. What is that?
Right.
And so I really worked on that. I reflected a lot. It took me a lot of time walking and thinking. I walk a lot and think. And the 3 elements that seemed to make some sense to me were competence, confidence, and risk-taking. I'm like, well, those are very different things, right? Competence and risk-taking seem to compete. But the more I thought about it, the more I wrote about it, it's really a simple learning system. So if I can say, here's the risk I want to take, call it a goal, then I can back up and say, well, what do I need to get good at, the competence piece, to elevate my confidence to go do that? And it's not I'm going to leap a chasm, which is, you know, in our impatient society, it's like, maybe make me good by next Tuesday.
Exactly.
It takes time, and it takes iterative learning and lots of trial and error. And a lot of times we make errors and say, oh my God, I can't tell anybody about that. I messed up.
Right.
Yeah, you did.
Right.
What did you learn?
Yeah.
What did you learn?
Right.
And so that learning process really became a system that I realized worked in any environment with any individual struggling with any question. And it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot of things. I've learned a lot of industries that I never would have. I think about, you know, how do you get to do what you do? And it was really stumble forward. Or Peter Block's book, The Answer to How is Yes. That really is the answer for me. I said yes a lot.